Hi there, this is Junior with BoonDocker. We're going to talk about the new BoonDocker oil tank. This oil tank was released for the 2010 season and has been enhanced for the 2011 season. We're going to talk about that and demo the tank so everybody can see how it works. Right here I have an M8 turbo and oil tank assembly. One of the enhancements this year is that this turbo assembly comes pre-assembled. Comes together already bolted to the oil tank. The bracket has all of the hoses on it, oil hose, coolant hose. The wastegate actuator is installed and adjusted correctly. The turbo's been indexed. It's ready to just be set in place of the stock muffler and have the hoses and wiring hooked up. This is an example of the Dragon. It comes that same way. The new RMK Pro will also come fully assembled. So does the M1000. That pre-assembled approach is the approach that BoonDocker has taken with our entire turbo packaging this year. Everything in the kit will be taken to as far as we can take it inside of the factory before we send it out to you, so that you have less work to do when you're doing the install. For dealers, that means it's going to be a quicker, easier install. There's less adjustments to have to make. As an individual consumer, this is something you can tackle in your garage without any problems. It's something you can get done in a few hours and get on to riding. Here I have an oil tank. This oil tank is what the M and the Dragon both use, and this is what it looks like before it's attached to the turbo mounting bracket. So go over the components on this. This is the supply line. I've gone ahead and put a plug in this because we're going to demo this and show you how it doesn't spill and why it doesn't spill. So this is what supplies the oil to the oil pump. This here is the drain plug. This is just for servicing the turbocharger oil so that you can change that oil throughout the season. We have the vent here. This vents the inside of the oil tank to atmosphere. This is key in having an oil tank that performs correctly and doesn't leak. This is the drain. This is where the turbo drains the oil that's pumped in to lube the bearings. It drains back into the oil tank here. And then lastly, we have a dipstick here, making it easy to check and monitor the oil level, add to it, and refill after servicing. This is on the 2010 oil tanks. This was on a tube, a separate filler tube that came up the side. We've eliminated that tube just to make it a smaller, more compact, just a whole cleaner setup. To demo this oil tank, we're going to go ahead and fill it full of some BoonDocker turbocharger oil. This oil is designed to run in your turbocharger. This packaging on this oil isn't the actual production packaging, but you will get a 16-ounce bottle like this in your turbo kit. So you go ahead and dump 16 ounces in it. It's important that you don't put more than 16 ounces in this oil tank. It's designed to run with 16 ounces, and if you were to run 20 ounces or something, it will actually leak. I had two guys that managed to make these oil tanks leak in the 2010 season. Both of them were overfilled. So you just watch me dump the oil in this oil tank, and basically what happens is you dump it in, but you don't dump it out. Doesn't come out the vent, doesn't come out the drain, doesn't come out the dipstick. I don't care how you turn this thing, you're just not going to get any oil out of it. Cruising along, do your backflip, there's still no oil out of it. Roll it down the mountain, still no oil out of it. Shake it down the trail, hear that oil sloshing around in there, still no oil out of it. This thing just straight up doesn't leak. So it's vented, won't leak out of the vent. You don't get any oil up to this seal. The seal's awesome. Even if you got oil up to it, it's not going to leak out of it. You're not going to get any of the smoke out the tailpipe. You're not going to get any of that oil in your charge system. This is just, it's unique to BoonDocker, and it's coming in all of your two-stroke turbo kits. So this is also an upgradable for all of your older BoonDocker turbo kits. This will retrofit onto the older Dragon or the older M kits. So that's it, and just wanted to show you how that worked. Hope you guys have a great snow season.